for between the University of Brighton and Canterbury Christchurch. And the students basically are going to do most of the presentation. We just want you to know that CK is actually joining us from Hong Kong. So we have recorded his portion of the presentation just because his Wi-Fi isn't playing well today. So we thought that would make sure that would work well this morning. So Han is going to be the main presenter this morning of this placement. I'd also like to say that we are due to be joined by our colleagues from Canterbury Christchurch as well, and I think Helen and Mary have made it in now, and hopefully we'll keep trying to get in Elisa and Emmanuel, who are the two Canterbury students on placement as well. So I'm going to hand over to Han now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, SJ. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I can hear you.
So to get started, I'll just be doing a little bit of an introduction and overview about Bridging the Gap. So this is our collaborative placement project, as Sarah Jane mentioned, between the University of Brighton and Canterbury Christchurch University. It's been a good opportunity to get to know students who do physiotherapy from other universities and engage with them. Over this placement, the aim of it was to bridge the attainment gap between Black, Asian, minority ethnic students in higher education and their white counterparts. And it was to create resources for practice educators, as well as accessible resources for students on how to support BAME students whilst they're on placement. Over the course of this leadership placement, it gives us an opportunity to conduct a little bit of our own research, explore and understand that research process, as well as develop presentation skills for events such as these. As well as that, a lot of the work that we do whilst we're on placements is very, very clinical, and it gives us an insight into some of the strategic non-clinical roles that have been something that I've been personally really interested in, but I don't think I would have really seen outside of this placement as much. As well as that, leadership and team working is really important to this project as well. For my section of the project, which we did a couple of months ago between late February and April, we created a series of focus groups, podcasts, and a webinar. So to start things off, we did a focus group so that we could hear the voices of BAME AHP students. And then the outcome of those focus groups helped kind of guide the rest of our project. It was really important to do this because it helped us kind of organize and manage interviews and discussions. It was important to play an active hand in the research process, as well as that active communication and listening are important skills for any physiotherapist, AHP or clinician to have. And we were able to kind of develop that through these discussions. Later on, we went on to develop a podcast. That was something that I mainly led, which was something that I had been interested in for a long time before physiotherapy, but was surprised to engage with during my course. And over the course of 3 podcast episodes, we were able to engage with professionals from our university, newly qualified physiotherapists, as well as a bit of an introduction from the students involved on the placement. As well as that, we talked a little bit about language and terminology and how there's differences between things like race and ethnicity. And students later on in the project went on to kind of develop more of these ideas as well. For me, I think the most important part of it was gaining some technical skills and doing something that I really enjoy, that I didn't really think that I would have seen much action in physiotherapy. And through this, it's put us into some kind of interesting situations, learning directly about how BAME physio has kind of managed as a band 5 has been a really useful experience for us, and it's been a valuable learning experience and networking experience too. We've also developed a webinar. We hosted a webinar at the end of that placement that we did together, and it allowed us to kind of gain a full overview over the evidence base, and then kind of collect what we had learned through the focus groups and podcasts to provide this webinar where we discussed a lot of our learning points, how we can provide an intersectional equal array of opportunities for BAME students. And as well as that, we got to talk to current professionals who are working in the NHS and find out what resources are available for BAME students to be supported. As well as that, 2 OT students from the University of Brighton went and did a separate kind of section of the project based specifically on allyship, and we'll be exploring the topic of allyship a little bit further today.
Thanks, Han, for providing overview of this project. Hello, everyone. I'm CK, a final year thesis student at University of Brighton. So my aim of this project is to raise the awareness of microaggressions experienced by BAMU students on their placement. Such a way we can promote a better experience of the BAMU students during their placement. I would like to provide my experience during the first week of this placement. On the first day, my educator oriented me to the project by allocating me time for reading around the resources already developed. As I'm the 12th student in this project, I noticed that the project is well developed with the resources for BMU students, as Han presented earlier. And we have got the posters as well to have a more attractive and appealing poster to attract people to look at it. To be honest, I was a bit lost in the beginning about my plan or my contribution to this project. It is because the previous students have done so great and they're focused on the areas I thought I would do. However, my educators were supportive and flexible about what I can do, and they suggest me to some idea about what I can contribute to this project. Moreover, they also suggest to me to have some resources like tests, personality tests, leadership tests, or learning style tests. Such a way I can understand myself better. So this actually sparked my idea of making a video for this project. So as I really love watching videos to learn, I think video would be a powerful tool to share ideas, like the TED Talk. There are more reasons I want to use video to demonstrate our resources. First, video can optimize the use of cognitive architecture, which means it is using both of your listening and reading at the same time, using your eyes and ears. Such a way it can have more stimulation to your brain and promote the audience to obtain more information from both channels, according to a few meta-analysis. On top of that, it also benefits both visual learner and auditory learner. For example, I'm a visual learner and I find it difficult to just listen to podcasts to absorb the information. So I think the other way around, it helps the auditory learner to absorb the information by providing a multimedia environment for them. Thus, this can benefit a wider audience. Thirdly, this video not only provides the visual, which is the characters, it also provides the animate and dynamic view of the video. So it is really beneficial to have more dynamic and things keeping moving around to keep audience attention. Lastly, it's a personal thing. It can provide me an opportunity to develop my video editing skills, as I have been wanting to develop it for a long time. So for the next slide, I will move on to the process I make the first video. During the process of making this video, I learned the way to organize different resources and sequencing to make a smooth transition. Moreover, I tried to synthesize similar concepts from two posters into one. For example, there are some overlapping or similar concepts of how to prevent microaggressions and the part of how to be an ally as an educator. I highlight the similar concepts and try to combine it with my own words for voiceover in the video. Moreover, at week 2, I've made a reflection of the audio, so I record my voice. It takes around 9 minutes in total. And by doing that auditory reflection, I realized that the things I need to improve, how to articulate the words, how to pronounce it more smoothly. So adjusting the intonation, maybe adjusting a bit of accent, adjusting a bit of speed. So this really beneficial for me to make this video. So I would like to show it here. As an educator, you might want to provide students that experience and try your best to support them. This video provides some resources for educators to support their and new students. The first thing we educator encounter with students will be their names. There are some advice from students for educators. Students' names should not be pronounced incorrectly or shortened without permission, as those are disrespectful and frustrating, and students might not know you are calling them. Moreover, it shouldn't be assumed due to their ethnicity. Some students have had their name questioned because they were of a certain ethnicity. Lastly, the name shouldn't be associated with stereotypes. Many students in the field qualitative studies experience some sort of microaggression due to the name being foreign or unfamiliar. What is microaggression? Microaggression is a comment or an action that is regarded as discrimination against a marginalized group, but it is subtle, indirect, and unintentional. Facing microaggression or discriminatory behavior, students can feel misunderstood and criticized. They can feel their problems were dismissed and feel like outsiders. The negative feeling could continue when they back home or another day of the placement, which affect their confidence and performance. So, how can we bridge the gap to support them? By providing allyship. To provide allyship, we should understand and learn to accept others' culture and social constructs. In the induction, you can provide a safe environment by initiating a non-judgmental, open conversation with students to talk with their needs and learning style. As a healthcare professional, we can listen to understand and emphasize for student response. Moreover, being considerate and flexible to students can convey a message to students. You are the educators that care about them and willing to support them within your ability. Next, you may also reflect on your own thoughts. First, becoming aware of your bias, perception, and expectations. On top of that, you can also signpost students to role models and useful resources in your trust. For example, BME network or other staff sharing similar background or culture. Lastly, if there are any microaggression and even discriminatory behavior, you can be the ally to take action, challenge, and confront it. By providing an allyship, you can be welcome to students and support them according to their needs. Thank you for watching. So those are the references, and more information you can reach our website by University of Brighton or CCCU. So I will move on to the next one. So after showcasing this video in front of CCCU and University of Brighton educators at Wilfrey, I received positive comments. I'm so glad and I'm so happy to this video because it provides me a chance to work with other CCCU OT students as they are really interested in making a video with me after showcasing. So we were originally doing a case scenarios for the educator session. So we try to integrate this Word document case scenario session to make it as a video So those case scenarios are used, it's going to be resources to be used in a practice educator session. So I would like to have a special thanks for Elisa and Emmanuel for collaborating with me for the second video. And it was really a great experience to work with other students, especially OT students, as a small MTT team. It can also promote peer learning and their experience to make the video more diverse. Moreover, it can help me to develop some leadership and collaboration skills here, which is relatable back to clinical practice as we work as a team in different healthcare settings. So it's not just about the virtual settings. These soft skills can be relatable to my future career. Moreover, during the process of making case scenario video, I realized that this project is mainly for BME students. And our team was thinking about a wider aspect more than just supporting BME students. As I'm involved in equality, diversity, in inclusive environment student committee in University of Brighton, I think it would be a great idea to integrate some intersectionality in the case scenarios to raise the awareness of intersectionality. Once again, I'm so delighted to work with other students from CCU, and we make one case scenario each for the second video. Before showcasing the case scenario, I have to say that they are all real experience with some modification that we gather the students from their placement. So there's the video I would like to show. It hasn't been finalized yet, but by the time today, that's what I can show. I'm happy to receive any feedback or comments to make it better. So here we go.
This video provides educators with resources to provide an inclusive environment for students. This included 3 real case scenarios of microaggression, followed by questions for educator discussion. Case scenario 1. Afeni is a student on his break. He sat in the dining room with 2 other female British staff. He brought out his lunch. Immediately the 2 British girls started laughing and looking weirdly at him. They kept laughing continuously and murmuring some words to themselves. One staff left and he came to ask about this.
Why were you people laughing at me?
Oh, you were eating banana and groundnut.
What is wrong with what I was eating?
Kelly said that monkeys will eat bananas and groundnuts. As you were eating them, Kelly was saying you look like a monkey.
Afeni became embarrassed and disappointed. He left the dining room. This is not the first time he faces negative remarks which irritated him for the last 3 weeks. He could not feel comfortable working here again. He reported it to his educator and requested afternoon leave. Here are the questions for educators' discussion. Karen is a BSc student with NBSP, a dyslexia background. However, she worked hard and used her way to adapt to her learning. She has a pleasant character and gets on well with team members and patients. She is talkative to other staff except the topic of her girlfriend. At one time she was shadowing a band 6 staff called Susan. The patient was talking about his social history.
My back is so painful. My partner will help me to do groceries now because of the pain.
Oh, so you need your girlfriend taking the heavy bags.
Actually, I married my husband and he is strong enough for that.
After the session, Susan was saying,
Oh my God, he is gay, and he is middle-aged. What on earth is happening in this world now?
Here are the Karen's thought.
I don't want to be judged and get marked down because of my sexuality. What if she hates me after coming out? I need to face her 5 more weeks. I felt more comfortable hiding instead of being who I am here.
Here are the questions for educators' discussion. Case scenario 3. Daisy is a student in her first hospital placement. She is motivated and enthusiastic to learn clinical skills. During her lunch break, Daisy was eating shrimp noodles prepared by her mother in the staff lunchroom. Suddenly, Jenny comes into the room with an unpleasant expression on her face and said,
Hey, is that your food? It smells weird.
Oh, I am sorry. It is my shrimp noodles.
I will open the door and windows of the room. The room is smelly.
Daisy is very upset because of the behavior and comment made by Jenny. However, she cannot express her feeling to her practice educator because her practice educator seems close to Jenny. Daisy sees them often having lunch together. At home, Daisy cannot concentrate on her studies. Daisy cannot perform to her full potential in placement because she feels like she does not belong to the placement team and the placement environment. As a practice educator, how do you help students in all three scenarios? How do you raise awareness regarding microaggression in your department? How do you promote equality, diversity, and inclusive environment in your trust or department? There are 6 strategies to support BAME students in practice placement, including pre-placement visit, placement debrief at the beginning of the session, student support session either one-to-one or group session, quality feedback mechanism, for example providing constructive feedback in a safe environment. Moreover, evaluation of placement weekly or monthly with evaluation form. Lastly, open communication with practice educator. There are the reference for your information. For more information, there are websites by University of Brighton and Canterbury Christ Church University. Thank you for watching.
So that is the second video I have made, and hasn't finalized yet again. So I'm happy to receive any comments to make it better. So moving on to the next noise. So I would like to summarize my weekly reflections here. So at week 1, I have made a small presentation about what's my learning and how I understand myself better. The tests I have been done, the personality tests, learning style tests, and leadership tests. This can really help me to find my weakness or strength, such a way I adjust my weakness part at my second week, because I found I am a visual learner and a kinesthetic learner. I really want to do things. I absorb quickly if I just looking at the pictures or videos. But in terms of just auditory environment, I am a bit struggle, and I found I'm not good at presenting things. So I try to make a week 2 audio such a way to address my weakness and try to improve my articulation and presentation skills, which help for the videos I've made. And at week 3, I'm trying to make a poster illustrating and demonstrating my clinical reasoning, why we need to have this project and why we need to use this video for this project. And potentially week 4, the reflection of week 4 would be this presentation to summarize everything of the past 4 weeks I've done. And another summary of my learning of this placement. I've learned leadership skills, video editing skills, which I'm happy, team working skills, communication skills, project management skills, and I try to use different ways to reflect myself and it kind of cultivate my creativity part. And there's the references I've used, and for more information, there's the links here from University of Brighton and CCCU. And that's all of our presentation. Thank you very much. I would like to, at this point, I would like to ask if Lisa and Memro feel free to chip in, and if you want to say something about it, you're welcome to, because it's really good working with them. I appreciate your hard work as well. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel Ozawara. I'm a student of from Christchurch University, a third year occupational therapy student. Being on this project has been a very good opportunity for me to learn skills and make a change as well. And also, it's been a great opportunity for me to collaborate with other students. Like CK said, we did many projects and also the animation video and other projects that we also did, like the microaggression poster and the critical discussion with other students and everything. So it has been a very great opportunity. And also I enjoyed working with the students from Sarah Jane and Mary and Helen and everything, how they kind of guided us and carried us along and taught us so many things that we didn't know. And being on this placement as well has really improved my skills. There are so many skills. Before I started this placement, I wasn't really keen in joining the placement, but I was happy now that I'm on the placement because there's some skills that I learned from this placement that I wouldn't get from clinical placement. I'm so happy being on this placement, and it's been a great opportunity for me. Thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Aliza Ali, and I'm third year occupational therapy student in Canterbury Christchurch University. And it was my pleasure to work with CK and Sarajan, Senain, and all the team from Brighton University. So I have learned collaborative skills. I have learned communication skills, presentation skills from this project. And yes, I have to say, CK was really a good co-worker, and we have learned new skills, that is animation and art. So it was a new skills that has been added in my personal and professional career. So it was wonderful to work with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Shall I just chip in? So yeah, Han, CK, Manuel and Eliza, and also thank you to the other 8 or 9 students that we've had on since the beginning of this placement. When we first had a conversation with our colleagues in Canterbury of this sort of little idea back before, November, December time last year, we were hoping to be able to offer this to 12 students over the duration of this year up to December. And the interest in it has been great. And we've already had, I think it's 14 students, and we're only in June or July. So this placement will continue. Well, it will continue to be funded by HEE for another 6 months. And we know that other students will have the chance to join this placement, which is really an absolute joy. I think, Mary and Helen are here, Sarah Jane and I, to have them join us as partners and to be able to lead this placement, alongside us. They've educated us so much, really made us reflect, certainly made me reflect on my own positions, my own privileges, and how I can be a really good ally. Has been really joyful. So I thank you for that. I just wanted to alert people in the chat. I have put the link to the Brighton website. You've got the links to both. It might be worth me just trying to quickly just share to orientate you to the website where we have created, hopefully you can see this, an EduBlog to support our practice learners on a whole host of things. So you'll see here, we've got lots of information about different models of placement delivery. And then we've got this equality, diversion and inclusion section. And the page that I've got open here is the resources that all the students have created. So the webinar that Han spoke about, that him, David and Izzy did, where we had, I think it was over 80 participants join us, can be watched there. CK's animation video, because I know you were watching it on a recording of him playing it, so the sound quality wasn't 100%. So please feel free to come in and watch that in a higher definition. And then here are the 3 podcasts that Han spoke about. And I know that he's got another one lined up with Deborah Humphreys, which will be fantastic. Lots of different resources, and then here are the posters, which I would really encourage you all. We've got the links to them there, but also I've put the links where you're able to then download them and share them, well, with practice educators, but actually within the staff within the university. There's no messages on there that are unique to practice education, so I would encourage everybody just to share them with your teams as a reflective tool. So yeah, I just want to say thank you on behalf of the leader of the team that are working with the students, and I'll open it up to questions. Does anybody want to ask any questions of Han or CK, Manuel, Elisa? Or any comments? So Liz is saying, well done, some amazing resources developed. Thank you, Liz.
If you don't mind, I would love to add something.
Yes, please
I have already given a compliment. I'm Bert Meeuwsen. I'm a senior lecturer and advisor to the board of Wittenberg University of Applied Sciences in the Netherlands, Germany and Austria. Since 5 years, I am a part-time lecturer working with almost 1,200 students from 120 countries. I used to live myself in the Asia Pacific and many other countries, and I recognize a lot of what I saw in these videos from my own practice. There is an English word called flabbergasted, and for the pure Brits this sounds a little bit over the top, but I am flabbergasted. And I would love to give you my compliments on what I've just noticed. This is material that can be very useful also when it comes to addressing lecturers, new staff members, in inviting them to at least be more open towards other cultures. And based on my own 30 years plus of international and cross-cultural experience, I'm specialized in this field. I am impressed by what you have done, and I think this is really very practical and very useful for staff members among both the universities that you are working with, but I think also outside of these universities, and indeed especially due to using language and video at the same time. Because from a didactic point of view, that's a very clever approach. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
CK, do you want to respond to that, or Han?
I'm glad that these resources is beneficial not only for University of Brighton, but like more diverse background. And I particularly focus on not just for physical therapy students as well, to bring it more diverse, like the people who are from Allied Health can use these resources. And I'm happy to share this video, and no matter where, all over the world. Thank you very much for the comment. It's really great pleasure sharing this this work from the past 4 weeks. Yeah, it's been a great.
Yeah, you are very much definitely allowed to be very.
Jen and Ginny again provide me a great resources. So I'm happy that they provided such a flexibility for me, such a way I can develop my skills, the video editing skills, and I feel I own the project really, and I'm really keen on working on it. That's really positive. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I feel this was coming from your heart. You communicated via the screen the thrill.
Thank you.
Very good.
That's great. We've got a couple of other hands up, and I didn't see which order they went up, so I can only go in the list. So Liz and then Fiona.
Hello there. I just wondered how long the placement was. I wasn't clear at the beginning how long they had to do all this work in.
It varies because the students are on different placements. So Han and Izzy, David and CK here at the Brighton, they're all physio students, so they've done 6 weeks on the placement. I think Emmanuel and Elisa, you're on a longer placement. Is that 12 weeks? 12 weeks. So they've got a little bit longer from Canterbury, but then we've had other students. I had some OT students that joined it. They were part of the placement. They were on for 8 weeks. So yeah, it varies really. So they don't have long to be able to actually identify the project that they want to work on, to be able to create that project. and we try and get them thinking about it in sort of a clinical way, in terms of what's the assessment skills they need, what information do they need to gather, what's the intervention that they're going to provide, and then how are they evaluating that and disseminating that. So I think that's been quite a useful way of them helping to think about meeting their learning outcomes. So, yeah. Fiona?
Hi, I'd just like to add my voice to the congratulations, but also to ask about the use of the is it Animaker?
Yes,
software for developing the videos, because it looks really, really good. Just to say, how long did it, or just to ask really, how long it took you to get up to speed using that, and given the quite short time frame, but also would you be prepared to kind of give it, do a bit of a FAQ or a bit of a sort of some help for maybe future placement students who would want to use that kind of that kind of software to create videos, because they're so effective and they look so professional.
Thank you very much. I was thinking on my first week of placement, I was just trying to brainstorm the ideas what I can work on, and I start to use Animaker to identify resources. Like, because of Sergey, he got other students using the Animaker as well. And it was starting on the beginning of second week, and I spent like 1 or 2 days like figuring out how I can use these useful tools. And after that, I take around 5 days to make the first video, and I take 10 days for the second video, because there was technical issues happening, and I spent quite a lot of time fixing that. But I was really like keen and think it is really a good resources to like bring the impact to people. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, it's great, and that it would be great if you I can maybe get in touch via the course team and just catch up with you to kind of capture your skills in that area. That would be fantastic.
I would be glad. Thank you. Yeah, sure.
I think you've already been teaching Emmanuel and Elisa how to use it, haven't you? So yeah, and that's definitely the idea of this placement, is that we, Sarah Jane, Mary, Helen and I sort of tend to step back really, and the students then induct the next group of students in and bring them up to speed on the placements, share ideas of things that have come out of the out of the focus groups or any surveys that we've done, ideas that they have for future projects, so they get listed and then hand over to the next students, who can then choose what project they would like to work on. So it's a rolling, leadership placement, and some of the students have decided to stay on board with us. Like Han, who's finished his placement, is here presenting with us and has supported CK on inducting into the placement. Han's about to do the podcast with Deborah. So lots of the students, and likewise at Canterbury, have stayed on the project because they've gained so much from it, which has been great. I can't see any other hands. Has anybody else got any comments they want to make? No, well, thank you so much. It is recorded, so we're hoping that other people will be able to come in, because there's so many great sessions happening today. Thank you to our Canterbury partners. Thank you to everyone for watching, and CK and Han, thank you for leading today's presentation. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks all.
Thank you very much.
Take
Bye.
care.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.